All right, this is Podcast Nerds for the week of September 15th, 2014. This is Mouse,
And I'm Deacon.
and we're here to just talk about one specific news bit about the game industry or the anime industry or whatever, and just talk about it. Like this week, we're going to talk about Mojang's acquirement by
Um,
Microsoft.
yeah.
And how much was that?
$2.5 billion.
Now, $2.5 billion, that's a lot of money. We're looking at something that's, whew, if you were to spend
I can't.
like some like 40,000 every single day for the rest of your life, you still wouldn't hit 1 billion.
I could spend $1 billion in like a matter of hours, but that's going to be a house
Well, no, that
with
would be a
private
house.
land.
Yeah, on an island in the middle of the Caribbean with your own security task force.
And then I can sleep forever.
Yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want, play video games. You can even make your own video game out of people.
You mean slave labor?
Yeah, slave it. Yeah, can you believe that? Let's go ahead and talk about Marcus Persons.
Before
What else is not?
before we do that, you said since slave labor. If I did have $2.5 billion, I'd make a human chessboard and just pay them to stay there for whenever I wanted to play a game of human chess.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I don't even know if that's even like legal. I mean, there's
Private, they're working for a private company that
yeah,
might.
there's places where you can be human chess, and that's kind of cool. But like, I'm thinking what is it, the history of the world, where the guy gets they queen mounts knight, pawn mounts knight, and then they start getting into an orgy. It's pretty hilarious.
Sounds like a porn.
Well, let's get into the meat of this. Marcus Person,
Notch.
Notch, as people like to call it, sent out a letter to his fans, and it states, "quote." It's a pretty long letter, so just be aware. It states, "quote. I don't see myself as a real game developer. I make games because it's fun and because I love games and I love to program. But I don't make games with the intention of them becoming huge hits, and I don't try to change the world. Minecraft certainly became a huge hit, and people are telling me it's changed games. I never meant for it to do either. It's certainly flattering, and to gradually get thrust into some kind of public spotlight is interesting. A relatively long time ago, I decided to step down from Minecraft development. Jens was the perfect person to take over leading it, and I wanted to try and do new things. At first, I failed by trying to make something big again, but since I decided to just stick to small prototypes and interesting challenges, I've had so much fun with work. I wasn't exactly sure how I would fit into Mojang, where people did actual work, but since people said I was important for the culture, I stayed. I was at home with a bad cold a couple of weeks ago when the internet exploded with hate against me over some kind of ELUA situation that I had nothing to do with. I was confused. I didn't understand. I tweeted this in frustration. Later on, I watched the This Is Phil Fish video on YouTube and started to realize I didn't have the connection to my fans I thought I had. I've become a symbol. I don't want to become a symbol responsible for something huge that I don't understand, that I don't want to work on, that keeps coming back to me. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a CEO. I'm a nerdy computer programmer who likes to have opinions on Twitter. As soon as this deal is finalized, I will leave Mojang and go back to doing Ludum Dare and small web experiments. If I ever accidentally make something that seems to gain traction, I'll probably abandon it immediately. Considering the public image of me already is a bit skewed, I don't expect to get away from negative comments by doing this, but at least now I won't feel a responsibility to read them. I'm aware this goes against a lot of what I've said in public. I have no good response to that. I'm also aware that a lot of you were using me as a symbol of some perceived struggle. I'm not. I'm a person, and I'm right there struggling with you. I love you, all of you. Thank you for turning Minecraft into what it has become, but there are too many of you, and I can't be responsible for something this big. In one sense, it belongs to Microsoft now. In a much bigger sense, it's belonged to all of you for a long time, and that will never change. It's not about the money. It's about my sanity. End quote. Now, this is a long letter, and this is actually really heartfelt because, man, it really shows that two things. One, he loves games.
Yeah.
And when I teach in my school, the one thing I tell people is that they need to be in the school because they love games. and it's very apparent with this guy. Two, he doesn't care about money. It's
No.
really all about his passion.
But honestly, at the point we're at with him already, he shouldn't have to care about money because he's already made enough.
That's true. I mean, it appears that he doesn't seem to be, uh,
He's not in it.
greedy.
Yeah, he's not in it to make money.
Yeah, but he wants to just do stuff because he loves games, and it's very very apparent in the letter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people always say, "Do what you love, and the money will come." He obviously did that, and look where he's at now.
Well, at this point now, the second point I wanted to say was that he realizes he's not an entrepreneur. He realizes he's not a businessman.
He got
is
lucky.
He's a game designer, and he has separated himself as a game designer. Look, he says, "Look, I'm not a game designer. I'm not an entrepreneur. I tried to be, but I just am not. I love games, and love making games, and this is what I'm going to do." And now with this acquisition, he is just going to just do experiments for the rest of his life. He's just going to be that guy that does whatever he wants to do, and he's done it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. When you get bought out, well, not bought out. When you get acquired by a company like that, the money gets paid out to the shareholders, right?
I'm not super sure about that. If it was an acquisition, if Mojang was public, it would go to the shareholders. But I believe he's still a private corporation, and so it would go directly to him.
Well, there are 3 shareholders with Mojang.
Yeah, so
Snotch, Jeb, and somebody else I can't remember.
regardless, he's still getting a lion's share of this
Yeah.
whole venture, and that's good for him. He made something that he loves, and he allowed it to continue and thrive, and he's reaped the rewards of it. It's pretty much like the game developers like wet dream, basically.
You make a game, get bought out, and then you buy your own island in Cuba. or
That's pretty
something.
much what I think he's gonna do. That he's just
Yeah.
gonna buy out. Where is he from? He's from
Well, at this point, he doesn't have
Denmark
to
or
work
something like
another
that.
day at all.
No, he doesn't have. Technically, he doesn't have to. And man. So what is this going to do? What is Microsoft? There's already backlash on the internet.
A lot of
with
people
a
on
lot of
Twitch are
people
talking.
saying and I saw that one picture of the the little Clippy guy. Did you see that one?
You must be trying to play Minecraft.
Yep.
Or
Oh
whatever.
my gosh, it's amazing.
I
It's-
saw it like 10
and
minutes ago.
That right there is just a microcosm of how people think Microsoft is going to just ruin Minecraft, and with good reason. I think people have a strong opinion about
Well,
that.
I mean, look at Rareware.
Rareware.
Rareware got acquired by Microsoft years ago, and then the Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts came out,
Yep.
and it was terrible.
Well, there's also a bunch of other acquisitions that have happened, like the acquisition of the people who made the Oculus
Facebook.
by Facebook.
Facebook.
And so people have been, there's a huge backlash of that.
I don't see why they're mad, because their thing is no longer their thing, but it's better because now they got the financial backing they need.
Yeah,
to make
you think
it better.
that's obvious, right? But there's a lot of shareholders or people that have invested in this that are like, nope, we're out of here. It's sad, but now it looks like that Oculus is going to be public next year.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2015,
There
they've
you
already
go.
announced that the Oculus is going to be public.
It took them how many years to make a DK1 kit when they weren't with Facebook, as opposed to next year they'll have public products that people can buy.
I think people are just, sick of companies coming in, taking over, projects and just ruining them. But there seems to be a trend with offhands policy, right?
Yeah.
With other acquisitions, like say, for example, like Disney bought out Pixar.
Yeah.
Right. So Disney bought out Pixar, and they're like, look, hands off, do whatever
Yeah.
whatever you want. And Pixar has continued to, create high quality animation throughout the years, even under Disney.
I think the same thing's gonna happen with Minecraft. Because I've been playing Minecraft since it was like alpha. So as far as I see,
That was like 4 years ago.
yeah, it was.
That was
I
a
was
long time ago.
I was still in high school when I was playing Minecraft.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to go in as alpha, but I looked at the thing and I realized this is Legos. I'm going to get sucked into this thing. There's no way I can get into this for my own sanity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
As soon as I saw it, I said, "This is gonna be something." You could just tell right off the bat, like you said, it's that Lego themed thing. Everybody loves Legos when they're a kid. You're gonna love this video game because it gives you the freedom that other games don't.
And it's like almost infinite. Like you're with Legos, you're bound by the amount of Legos you have in your possession at the time, and you have to go out and get more Legos. Now there is an infinite possibility if you have the
Procedural generation.
yeah, but now it's like you're in procedural generation. Yeah, you can just do whatever the hell you want, and it caters to such a huge like creative outlet.
Yeah.
You know,
Anything you want to do, you can probably do it. I've seen people make computers in Minecraft.
dude, they've made like the what is it the Enterprise, the full Enterprise that you can walk through the
It
Enterprise.
was like a 1-to-1 scale.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I mean, the amount of patience and time it
I don't got
takes
time
to
for
do
that.
that. It's like, and it's just little small blocks. It's just like oversized pixels, basically.
Yeah. You
So-
got people. You got the modding community making money off the mods that people use. It's just crazy.
Yeah, my nephew, my gosh, my nephew, he still comes down and the first thing he asks is, Uncle, can I have your Xbox 360 so he can play Minecraft? And he's still working on this thing. He plays it on his iPad. He plays it on.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. He plays it like he's an expert at it, and I just wow, how does he do that? Like I'm starting to feel really old now, right?
Yeah.
But is this going to, what's the backlash of that? So people are going to be, people are already like backlashing against this, right? Is this going to continue to, is this going to hurt that Microsoft?
No, this isn't going to hurt Microsoft at all. How I see it going for the next maybe 2 or 3 years, it's just going to be Mojang still handling everything because obviously Microsoft needs to see a return on their investment. So why would you take it off of the PlayStation or the Android or whatever while that's still making you money? I don't see a point of it taking it away from to being a Microsoft exclusive. But I do see them porting it to the Windows Phone very soon.
I don't know. I see it like this. Like Steve Jobs left Apple because he died, right?
Didn't leave.
Yeah,
Apple.
he just kind of died, right? But it seems like Apple right now, under the new guy, I forgot his name, is kind of trying to go that direction. But it seems like it's not the same as when Jobs was underneath what was heading Apple. You know what I mean?
I mean, some people have been saying, "Welcome to 2012, Apple."
Right. So again, with this thing, Notch is not really inherently involved with Minecraft anymore.
But to be fair, he wasn't really involved much the past 2 years.
True. Well, the last few years, it's been it's still peaking, but it's still kind of on the rise. But when you create an engine that starts and it keeps going, you really, after a while, you don't really need to like put as much effort into it because the engine runs so smoothly.
Just minor updates every now and then, like they've been doing.
So, what are your final conclusions? What do you think? Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing because now they have financial backing that they could use to push like WIC into territory we can't even imagine. But I do think the offer was a little low because honestly, I feel 2.5 billion they could make that off of licensing deals alone. I honestly feel that.
But personally, I think I'm on the fence right now. I'm one of those guys that wants to like wait and see kind of deal. I mean, even though I've seen other like acquisitions do well, I'm very skeptical about this. So, Deacon's all for it. I'm up in the air about it, and that's our opinion for today. This is Podcast Nerds for the week of Monday. Wasn't it? For the week of September 15th, 2014, and we're out. See ya.